Warning, the following creepypasta may contains is at the random characters and the logos spin-off, it and also prepared, please clicking away in this video, viewer discretion is advised.
Does anybody remember that ad called piracy, it's a crime, you know, with the famous "you wouldn't steal a car" phrase and the rock and roll music? It was even a warning about downloading pirated films. I've seen this ad on many DVDs from my childhood, such as Ice Age, Alvin and the Chipmunks, The Simpsons movie, Trolls, The Magic of the Five, Surf's Up, Monster House and much more. You get the rest, but I haven't told you a story that I've discovered recently. Get ready as I tell you. It was one Saturday morning, and I was walking in town to grab some groceries. I noticed the market was open. I felt interested in cruising around the market, so I didn't bother. I went over to the DVD court to find some DVDs I might like, whether they were shows from my childhood or DVDs after my childhood that I want. My finger hovered around many of the DVD boxes, until I noticed a very familiar sight. It was a piracy, it's a crime DVD, but as an extended cut. It featured the 4 known crimes as seen in the ad, such as stealing a car, a handbag, a television and DVD, with a girl on the computer in the center. Luckily, I bought my wallet with me in case I want to buy anything for myself. I talked to the man at the court, and he said it was only $7.95. I paid for the DVD. Before I left, the man said something.
You might want to get rid of this DVD soon. It has very disturbing imagery that you might not handle. I advise you to not post it online.
I walked home, not bothering to grab my own groceries. I informed my mom that I got home safe and showed her the DVD.
This seems to ring a bell to me,
she said. I was quite surprised that she remembered the anti-piracy ad. I went back to my room to open up the DVD and insert it into my Xbox One. The DVD opened with a language selection from many Warner Brothers DVDs with the piracy ad. I selected the option Australia since I'm an Australian myself. Once I selected it, a warning came up.
This extended cut of the piracy ad has been created for horror movies in cinemas in 2005 before it got removed in late 2008. The content you are about to see will be very disturbing and not eligible for children to view. Viewer discretion is advised.
I already put a worried look on my face.
Oh, crap, I've got to watch this.
I groaned. The ad started with a teenage girl on a computer, as usual, and she was trying to download a pirated movie. The ad cut to the first phrase, which was "you wouldn't steal a car" smashing onto the screen. It showed a teenage boy or a man trying to steal a car with an unknown tool, digging it into the window. He succeeded and opened the car door to seemingly hijack it. The second phrase smashed in saying "you wouldn't steal a handbag." It showed a woman at a restaurant looking at a menu, before a man walked up and stole her handbag from her chair as she didn't notice at all. The third phrase came in. It read "you wouldn't steal a television." A man handed a large television to another man through the window, as the second man walked away with it. Notice the fact nobody noticed him with the television. Then it showed the last clip of this trailer "You Wouldn't Steal a Movie." It showed an interior of a DVD store, as a man took a DVD from a shelf and snuck it into his jacket. But instead of reversing the crime scenes, the ad showed more crimes. And sweet Jesus, were they messed up? It showed text smashing onto the screen saying "you wouldn't steal flesh," but the font was in red, and the blue and red police line-like flashing background was replaced with blood splattering around. My eyes widened seeing that horrible screen. My eyes widened even more seeing that next clip. This clip showed a man sitting next to another person, but he was dead, presumably murdered by the living man. The man cut the flesh of the deceased man's right arm, before eating it. He even laughed like a madman while pulling a slasher smile. "Holy shit, a broken bar," I whispered. This so-called extended cut just got horrified. The next clip showed text saying "you wouldn't steal a corpse." A woman's corpse was shown lying next to a fridge, before the camera panned to another man in the shadows with white eyes glowing, presumably the woman's murderer. He then ran up to her and picked her up by the arms and hid her in his bedroom wardrobe. Another piece of text crashed in reading "you wouldn't steal a bone." It showed a person's damaged arm with bones exposed, before a man came into the shot and grabbed it. He then fed his pet dog the bone. but the dog turned out to be vicious as his teeth were razor sharp and his eyes were red. The last clip showed, and dear God, it was messed up. It showed text entitled "You wouldn't steal a chainsaw." The final scene showed a woodman about to chop down a tree, before another man ran up from behind him and got in a tug of war with the man for the weapon, before he stabbed the woodman in the chest with the chainsaw, before running away with it. Then the ad showed all the crime clips in reverse at fast speed, before cutting to the words "Downloading pirated films is stealing," but in the blood-splattered background. It showed the girl still in the computer, waiting for the pirated film to be downloaded. As that played, it showed back and forth moments of more word stealing is against the law crashing onto the screen and the girl downloading the movie. The girl then canceled the download of the pirated film and got out of her desk and grabbed her backpack. The music stopped playing once she sat up and the clip played in normal speed. The girl disappeared from the room. It showed the bedroom for about 5 seconds. After those seconds were up, the silence was suddenly interrupted by a blood-curdling shriek coming from the girl, and stabbing sounds were heard. The shrieking stopped, and it cut to the last shot of the trailer, where it showed the title of the PSA, "Piracy, it's a crime." The text was normal, colored in white, but it was in a blood-splattered background. I had a blank look on my face after seeing that horrible ordeal. I felt like vomiting seeing that graphic imagery. The PSA finally ended showing a black screen with the sound of a door slamming, as heard in the music. It showed a black screen for 10 seconds, and I was just sitting on my couch, wondering if something else will happen. Apparently, something did. The black screen was interrupted by an image of a man cosplaying as a pirate in a black and white effect, with a loud blood-curdling scream of a female. That appalling image scared the absolute crap out of me. I screamed really loud in shock and fell from behind my couch. The PSA ended for real this time. I was hyperventilating really heavily due to the delivery of that sudden jump scare. My mum came into my room and asked me what I was screaming about. I told her why I screamed, so I put the DVD back into my Xbox One to provide evidence. Once she saw the abnormal extended cut, she was appalled as I was. Luckily, it was still 10 o'clock a.m. so my mum and I got in the car to return the DVD to the markets. Not long after I took pictures of evidence. The man who gave me the DVD sincerely apologized for selling us the DVD, and my mum and I were kind enough to forgive him for this mistake. He even told us he will destroy the DVD, which he presumably did. That night, I had many nightmares about the ad. I had nightmares about the 4 men killing me the same ways they did to those victims. But the worst nightmare I had was the pirate at the end staring at me while I was sleeping, before he tilted his head from left to right, with a cracking sound, and he vanished. And when he was gone, I heard a heart beating, and then he flashed out of nowhere with a woman's shriek and killed me, pulling a slasher smile. What does the piracy ad have to do with horror, and who is responsible for making this?